If there's a worse final boss battle than the Judge Doom fight in the NES version of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, then I don't want to play it. Seriously, I'd rather eat cookies made out of Play-Doh and dog shit and then powdered with cyanide than play this fucking boss battle ever again. Since Rare crapped out this butt nugget of a game, you can be sure that it's terrible. But then why did they have to top it off with one of the most frustrating, overly long, and pointless boss battles in human history? Imagine you're a kid back in the 80s and you get this game for Christmas and by some miracle you manage to make it to Judge Doom. How in the fuck could Rare ever expect you to beat this guy? Christ, I'd rather fight Judge Dredd, Judge Death, or fucking Judge Judy than this asshole ever again. So anyway, let's get to it. Stupid boss battles. Who Framed Roger Rabbit for the NES? The Judge Doom fight. First off, to give credit where credit is due, at least the game designers tried to make this final boss battle look like the movie. Now, I'm not saying they succeeded completely, but at least they gave it a good shot, which is more than I can say for some movie-to-game adaptations. Also, I felt that the music in this part was really good, and if it didn't loop every 5 to 10 seconds, it would actually be bearable. Unfortunately, those are the only two good things I can say about this boss battle. After that, everything goes downhill. Boy, does it go downhill. My first complaint with this boss battle is the lack of a recognizable health meter for both Eddie Valiant and Judge Doom. Now, in the previous clip, you might have been wondering what the hell does that bar with the word end mean? Well, as it turns out, that bar represents not only your life, but Judge Doom's as well. The red line through the yellow D on the far left of the bar represents Judge Doom's health, while the red line going through nothing on the far right of the bar represents your health. As you take hits and as Judge Doom takes hits, those two red lines will slowly converge towards the word end in the middle. Whoever reaches the word end first gets killed. And if you think my explanation is confusing, which it is, try playing the fucking boss battle for the first time. You won't know what the fuck is going on. I have just one question for Rare. Why the fuck couldn't they just make two separate life meters? One for Judge Doom and one for Eddie Valiant. But no, they had to be so goddamn cheap that they had to put both life meters in one fucking bar. You know you're in for a really bad boss battle when they can't even get the fucking life meters right. But that doesn't even begin to describe everything that's wrong with this boss battle. To beat Judge Doom, you have two options. One, you can use the weapons that you have. Now that's all well and good, but there's just one problem. Aside from the cigars and the bombs, every other weapon you have barely even puts a scratch on the Judge. Meanwhile, the Judge's two main attacks, his fist and shooting daggers out of his eyes, take a sizable chunk of your health off. Why does this game give you all of these weapons and then turn around and make most of them useless? And furthermore, why do they only give you 9 of each weapon? Why can't you collect as many bombs and cigars as you want? But oh no. Even if you put a password in like I did here, you still only get 9 of each weapon. So basically, you're stuck with as many weapons as you have. You can't go back and get more, you just have to face the Judge with what you got. Option 2 is using your fist, which you're pretty much going to have to use anyway because the game only gives you a limited supply of useful weapons. And besides, the only way you can beat him with the weapons is to knock his health all the way down to nothing with your fist, then hit him with the weapons. And here's where the game's terrible design and controls really start to fuck you over. Instead of just letting you beat Judge Doom with your fists, what you have to do is hop around like a fucking idiot and build up your strength to power up your punch. And how do you do this? Well, you have to keep on hitting the B button over and over and over again. Sure, you can try hitting him with an unpowered punch, but it will hardly do any damage, so it's not really worth it. But this powered-up punch has its own fair share of problems. For one thing, if you just stand there repeatedly pressing the B button, Eddie Valiant won't be able to move. That's right, he'll be literally stuck in one spot and you can't move him. So what you have to do is press forward, then start banging on the B button. And guess what? If you don't repeatedly tap the B button over and over and over again, his strength just disappears like that. And even worse than that, if Judge Doom hits you with his fists or one of his projectiles, you'll be stuck in one spot, and the only way to escape from that is to stop pressing B, thus losing all the strength that you've built up. And to top off these shit-tastic controls, even if you manage to power up your punch completely, and even if you manage to go forward, and even if you manage to get to Judge Doom, you'll only get one hit in unless you do it a certain way, and I'll tell you about that in a second. So for all that effort you put into punching Judge Doom, you barely cause him any fucking damage anyway. And all the while, you have to avoid his punches and avoid his projectiles and try not to get killed. So tell me, whose bright fucking idea was it to make the controls like this? Who thought it would be a good idea to have to press the B button repeatedly just to throw one goddamn strong punch? Could you imagine trying to play Ninja Gaiden or Castlevania like this? Tapping the B button repeatedly just to power up Ryu's sword or Simon's whip? It's fucking madness. It's so stupid. I cannot see how anyone would ever sign off on such a ridiculous idea. Let me tell you something. If you're stupid enough to want to fight this boss battle fair and square, then you better have a good set of thumbs, because they're going to be fucking aching by the time you get done with this battle. Assuming you ever get done with this battle, that is. Even if you use a turbo controller, you're still going to have to tap the B button to do the punches. I just have one other question for Rare. Why the fuck couldn't they have done this like Mega Man 4, where you just tap B once and hold it to power up Mega Man's blaster, then you let it go to fire? But no. They had to do it where you tap it repeatedly until you destroy your thumbs. Thanks a lot, geniuses. Now, as I mentioned earlier, there is an alternate way to beat Judge Doom. It's kind of a cheat, but what the hell, this fucking game isn't going to give you any breaks, so why should you do the same for it? If you can trap Judge Doom in the left-hand corner of the upper platform, then tap B repeatedly and power up your punches to full strength, and then tap B every half second or so, you can continually punch him until you knock his strength down to nothing. And trust me, this is about the only fun you're ever going to have in this boss battle, so enjoy it while it lasts. But even with this trick, look how many fucking times I have to hit this guy. What, 20, 30, 40, 50? Christ! That's how many punches you have to hit doing this trick. Imagine trying to do this without the trick. 50 punches? Christ, you'll be spending like 10 hours trying to beat this guy. But even after all that shit, the fun isn't over yet. Now you gotta collect the dip can and use it against Judge Doom. Oh, and you better not dilly-dally for too long, because otherwise Roger and Jessica will get dipped and you'll automatically lose a life. Even after you get the dip cannon, you still have to be careful, because now Judge Doom can kill you with one hit. That's right, he can kill you with one fucking hit, which is of course completely fair and totally consistent with his previous form. And if you fuck up, guess what? You have to go right back to the beginning. That's right, Judge Doom isn't down. You have to literally go back and punch him 70 more fucking times. Ain't that great? And guess what happens if you try to run away? He punches your ass to death. Also, if you try using the dip cannon by pressing B repeatedly like the punches, you will fail because you won't get enough shots off to kill him before he hits you. So let me get this straight, Bear. You can program the dip cannon to fire repeatedly with just the push of a button, but you can't fucking do that with the punches? Way to be consistent. Not only that, even this last battle is glitched. If you time it just right, Judge Doom can kill you and you can kill him at the same time. Then the game says you lost a life and it sends you right back to the beginning screen. With glitches like this, you know they didn't playtest this game properly. Instead, they probably rushed it out to stores, hoping a few hundred saps would buy the damn thing before everyone else found out it was shit. So to beat Judge Doom, all you have to do is just hold down the B button and blast him with the dip cannon. But even after all that shit, all they give you is one stupid scene where they lower Jessica and Roger, and then they give you one lousy ending screen. That's it. That's all you fucking get. For all your hard work, that's all you fucking get. Instead of this screen, maybe they should have used this for the ending. Well, if I've gotten one good thing out of this boss battle, at least I know what to do to the game designers if I ever meet them in a dark alley. So in conclusion, no matter how much I hated the other boss battles I covered in the previous segments, I would take any of them any day over this fucking piece of shit. So unless you have the IQ of a tree stump and you love wasting your time, then I suggest staying the fuck away from this boss battle. This is Film and Stuff signing off. Thanks for watching. Christ, I'd rather fight Judge Dredd, Judge Death, or fucking Judge Judy than this asshole ever again.